Let's call meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before any executive sessions, public comment.
Jeff Dunkel, Palo Alto. Just trying to figure out a replacement for Mr. Hatter, if it's coming, or is there an interim director? I don't see anything posted outside on the job postings. So looking to see where we stand with that. Are we just throwing extra work on everybody else? I did some research. There's at least 3 that I stopped after I found 3, but there were 3 resignations previously on PAR reports. So if that's a new policy that changed, that's something that should be addressed. But there have been previous resignation on PAR reports, and this one was not.
Jeff, this year.
What's that?
This year. Since January.
That was back to, that was previous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before. So we'll figure out about that. Also, Ms. Stevens, after the last couple of weeks and some stories that ran, quite a few interesting messages from past employees about mistreatment by her. Also that the payroll scheme was allegedly started at least in 2014. So that went on for 5 years. Could have been prior to this, but 2014, it was definitely occurring, and a previous employee was asked to partake in it and did not, and was mistreated after that, causing that person to leave. So 5 or 6 years that went on, which is definitely a felony, was not handled properly. Mr. Opate was confirmed that he was not notified of any of it going on. It was something that was done internally and brushed under the rug, and then he was notified of what punishment was given and that the investigation was closed. He should have done a criminal investigation at the least, and she should have been charged with a felony and lost her job. That's common sense with the charges that she would have received. So I think they should reopen the investigation and do a formal one and start interviewing people. I have plenty of people. There's a comment on one of the media sites. I personally have a bad experience with children and youth, which of course I'm sure plenty of people do in that situation. The agency has been working with the family for quite a long time. There's more to it than just a payroll scheme. But since we're talking here about the scheme in particular, their own records obtained by a right to know clearly indicate that the scheme is not only about Ms. Stevens working extra hours, as you put it. The caseworkers are also adding extra after-work hours to their paperwork for visiting families, but in reality, they do not show up at those hours. Our caseworker did exactly that. I requested an investigation last year, but are still waiting for replies from Schuylkill County officials, which that's a shocker. If you need to know their names, please do not hesitate to contact me, but I promise you there's no surprises. Good luck with nailing down probably the most corrupt woman in Schuylkill County. Signed by Val. I'm sure we can find out who Val is, and I think you guys should contact her and do a formal investigation and find out what's going on. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Morning, George.
Good morning. George Stankovich, Palo Alto. Once again, I'm going to say about the senior citizens and veterans, the food vouchers for the farmers, it's a great project, and the only thing is we only got the same amount of vouchers this year as last year, and of course we ran out last year, and of course we ran out this year. There's a list of names of people that need these food vouchers, and we can't get them for them. So if there's anybody out there that knows how to get in touch with anybody that has anything to do with food vouchers and can help our county out, would be a great thing. There's people that really need this. Most people coming in, 30% of them don't even know this program even existed to this year. And yes, I know that it was in the paper, it was on messages and stuff like that, but you got to realize a lot of these people are in their 70s, 80s, some 90s. They don't get this information. They don't get the paper. they don't get internet or anything like that, on a computer. So if it isn't by word of mouth, they don't even find out about this help that's out there. So somehow, some way, I like this to be cleared up so I don't have people coming in 3 weeks later after their vouchers are gone and crying that they need help. This is ridiculous. United States of America. I don't know how many times I have to press this point. And Pennsylvania, I want them to not be one of the other 49 states that don't help people. This is what it's all about. Help people. The nonsense that's going on with the government fighting Republicans is right, Democrats is right is nonsense. I hope they get this drilled in their head. And anybody that votes for a clown or anybody that doesn't want to help people, please, when November comes around, make sure you're making a right choice. And please read up on this 2025 project, because it's not going to help senior citizens or veterans. Middle class is going to hurt. And you know what? Middle class keeps on moving up the pay raise. So even people are making $60,000 a year. Guess what? You're going to be hurt. You're going to be one of those people that are going to be hurt. And when you combine state and religion, that is bad. When they tell you you have to go to church on a certain day, believe me, that's going to be a terrible situation. You're bringing the Dark Ages back. And if you don't know what the Dark Ages was all about, start reading your history books or get on the computer and find out what it's about. That was terrible, putting people to death. Actually putting people to death. Okay, thank you, and I hope people start waking up.
Any other public comment? Morning.
Good morning, y'all. Melinda Dybert, North Manhattan Township. Last week, Commissioner Hess was quite adamant that an investigation had been completed in regard to the Lisa Stevens debacle. So, we're wondering, as members of the public, what were the results of that internal investigation, which was completed by county employees? What did she do wrong? How long had the timesheet theft been occurring? We're hearing now there's new evidence or people willing to step forward that are saying it was occurring as early as 2014. 6 years of timesheet theft. We do assume that she did something wrong because a 15-day suspension was ordered. Gee whiz. How does that compare to the 942-day unpaid suspension of the 2 tax claim employees who did absolutely nothing wrong? Why didn't the Board of Commissioners follow the recommendation from your own county administrator and your human resources director at the time? Both of these individuals recommended that Lisa Stevens be fired. Why was that advice ignored by our Board of Commissioners? Do you understand that an HR director, county administrator, not even the county solicitor's office have the authority nor the ability to conduct a criminal investigation? Did the commissioners ever contact our Schuylkill County Sheriff, Joe Grudy, to ask for his assistance regarding this investigation? Was the Pottsville Police Department contacted? Did you refer this to our district attorney for his office to investigate? So, other entities and offices who actually possess the expertise to conduct a criminal investigation were never contacted. Well, why not? I have to ask. Commissioner Hess referred to Lisa Stevens' actions as a mistake. I think of a mistake as an error that is done accidentally. This timesheet theft wasn't an accidental error. It was intentional and deliberate, done repeatedly, pay period after pay period, month after month, year after year. Theft by deception. 18 PA Consolidated Statute, subsection 3922, is a third-degree felony, punishable by up to 7 years in prison and a $15,000 fine. Did she ever pay any restitution? Did she square up with the IRS, the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue, and her local tax collection entity? These are questions that deserve to be answered. Thank you.
Linda, you can bring up, go ahead. You can bring up the thing that you gave me.
Okay, I didn't bring that up with me, but I think I can remember it. Here, wait, let me grab it right quick, so I don't misstate anything. Okay, this is kind of a public service announcement. Tonight, July 24th at 7:30 p.m., Riley Township will be conducting their monthly meeting at Newtown Fire Hall, which is at 36 Wood Street in Newtown. Listed on their meeting agenda under new business, they will be discussing the possibility of a new landfill in Blackwood, and this landfill is being solved by Waste Management. So that is on the agenda for this evening, and they are accepting public questions or comments in that regard. So, do you want this back there?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any other public comment? Tim, I'm gonna let you go now, so we can just move on with the meeting now.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tim Barr with Vision Government Solutions. I appreciate the commissioners and the public here. I will make myself available either across the hall in the assessment office or in the hallway if there's actual questions after the public comment period and meeting. There are two projects that Vision has been working on. The first was the software deployment. We upgraded the assessment office software systems April 15th and have been working diligently to make sure that the assessment office has everything they need as a follow-up to that. It was a pleasure working with assessment, and it was a very collaborative effort to make sure we converted all the old historical data from the 30-year-old data and 15-year-old system to a brand new modern CAMA, computer-assisted mass appraisal software program. So that's a precursor to the reassessment. The reassessment has been going on concurrently with that. Pleased to report that over 94% of the residential properties have been visited, where we can see the light at the end of the tunnel on the residential data collection. And we want to thank the property owners of Schuylkill County for their cooperation in something that is invasive, we know that, but it's necessary to verify per the Pennsylvania law what is physically on every property in the county. So that data collection process is over 94% complete. We then put that into the computer, and we are over the 50% mark on data entering the residential data collection. So we're continuing to put that information into the computer. And commercial data collection is underway. We're visiting commercial properties. It's a slightly different process than it is for residentials. But we're on track for all of those data collection elements. And with the new software that I previously mentioned, all of this comes together so that in the spring, we'll be sending out change of assessment notice estimates so people can look at their values for the first time and set up face-to-face informal reviews. Between now and then, we will be mailing data verification mailers to residential property owners where they'll be able to see some of the information. The first districts to be mailed will be in that 50% of the county that we've already keyed into the computer and quality checked. This all takes effect for 2026. When we get to 2026, it's revenue neutral. I know many of you have heard me say that before. State law, and I appreciate those that quote legislation and so forth, 8823 in the state law is the section that says that the county, all the municipalities, and the school districts must lower their tax millage rate by whatever their values go up as a group. So if the county values go up 5 times, the commissioners will have to, by law, lower their millage 5 times to produce the exact same revenue as it did previous to the reassessment. What that means for property owners, whether they're seniors, fixed income, veterans, all property owners, is that the shift is not just a jump in value and a jump in tax. It is a jump in value, but some will pay more and some will pay less. And we'll know more about where that is when we get to the spring and we see what those numbers actually are looking. But as a general rule, if you think about areas in the county that have gone up in value faster than others, they tend to see a greater tax increase. In the areas that are not as prominent or haven't had the inflation, if you will, those tend to see their taxes go down. So general rule of thumb, we can look for that, but we'll know more about that once we have the final values. Again, if there's any questions, I'll make myself available across the hall or in the hallway.
Thanks, Tim.
Oh, I'm sorry, one last thing. We do a monthly report, apologies. Every month there's a status report. It's available on the county website. Click the reassessment link on the homepage and drill down to status reports. And a lot of what I just presented here today, you can find in the monthly reports.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the minutes from our commissioner meetings of July 10th? So moved.
Second.
The question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
and Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the work session of July 17th? So moved.
Second.
The question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve the 4 items that were presented by children and youth at our work session? So moved.
Second.
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve the 6 items that were presented at our work session by the grant writers? So moved.
Second.
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve what was presented at our work session by adult probation? So moved.
Second.
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve what was presented at our work session by 911 Communications? So moved.
Second.
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve what was presented by county administration at our work session?
Make a motion to approve the Missouri County Schuylkill Workforce Development recommendation.
Second.
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve what was presented by human resources at our work session?
Motion to approve the 2 requests.
Second.
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve what was presented at the work session by the treasurer's office?
So moved.
Second.
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Okay, so county administration, you gonna handle this, Lisa?
Yeah, I can handle that.
And then why we're approving it at this meeting?
Yeah, well, we're approving it, as per our, advertisement, that's what was included in that, and, so in this, we're requesting a motion for the approval of Macantango Enterprises to collect the waste tires for the annual Schuylkill County 2024 fall cleanup. The tires will be collected at all 16 sites, which are listed below, and, they have Macantango Enterprises will provide a service for transportation of the tires collected. A pool charge will be applied based on the following schedule, and it has all the locations and what it costs per pull, and this recycling of the waste tires collected from all sites, it is at a rate of $125 per ton, and there's a minimum of 5 ton for each trailer. For $625 is the disposal fee that will be incurred. And on item number 2, there was a little bit of a typo. There was a cut and paste from last year. So the motion should read, a motion is requested for approval for Valley Waste Solutions to collect and transport bulky items from the annual Schuylkill County 2024 fall cleanup. The bulky items will be collected from 14 of the 16 sites as Tamaqua Transfer and CES Landfill have their own on-site disposal for the bulky items. And the 14 sites that are listed below and what the corresponding charge is for each pull. Thank you.
Can I have a motion to approve the request?
Motion to approve the request on behalf of engineering.
Second.
On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
and Commissioner Hess.
Okay, so, and then the next item is information only, because it's a time constraint, so it's being presented for information this week, that will be voted on next week, so if you wanna present that,
Good morning, and it is due to a time constraint that we're asking for approval for today instead of the next meeting. This is approval requested for the assurance of compliance for the county human service plan for fiscal year 24-25. Basically, it's the human service block grant that's submitted every year to the state.
and that'll be approved at the work, so, next, on the 8th.
That's fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Human Resources?
Yes, Commissioners. Children and Youth, we have the appointment of Trey Reynolds as the County Caseworker 1, the rate is 20.9412, effective 8/19/24, salaries per the contract. In the prison, we have the appointment of Adam Mester, Correction Officer part-time, the rate is 23.0730, effective 7/29/24, salaries per the contract. All appointments are pending drug test and physical where appropriate. All actions involving salary or for positions being created are pending salary board approval. In addition, we have one informational item in the Sheriff's Office, the appointment of Barbara Siglak as a security guard 2, and that will be effective 7/29/24.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the appointments for children and youth in the prison?
So moved.
Second, on the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Paul Hoover's not here. So, can I have a motion to approve the supplemental budget appropriation resolution for the current year, 2024-14, for $8,458, and that was presented at a work session?
I'll make that motion.
Second. Any question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
and Commissioner Hess.
Yes. Is there any business? Just a note, there's no commissioners meeting on July 31st, it's the 5th Wednesday. The next commissioners work session meeting will be Thursday, August 8th. Got a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Salary board, report of an executive session.
There were none.
Public comment for salary board?
Jeff Dunkel, Palo Alto. Since he's got a week off next week, I'll come up here quick. I see Mr. Hoover's not here, but there's also a posting out there for his position. Is he leaving? He's retiring. Is there a time frame on that, or? Okay. 'Cause that salary is pretty much like the MIS department, not up to par with what it is nowadays, and that's some big shoes to fill for $80,000 a year, so.
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
Any other public comment for salary board?
Belinda Diver, North Manheim Township. Okay, let's talk about the Personnel Action Request Form, otherwise shorthand, we know it as the PAR. PAR report, PAR form, whatever. Okay. Upon approval by the commissioners, and in some instances the salary board, depending upon what the action is, this becomes an official document. This document becomes an official record for the county. It is used by Human Resources to confirm dates of employment, job title, classification, etc. It's used by the Controller's Office to assist in calculating both payroll and retirement benefits for the employee. The Personnel Action Request Form should accurately reflect when an employee is hired, terminated, resigns, transfers to another department, any increases or decreases in salary, or any other changes to an employee's job. If Kent Hatter, as Chief Assessor, has indeed resigned, that resignation and the effective date must appear on the Personnel Action Report. Who made the unilateral decision to remove terminations and resignations from the PAR. Wondering who made that decision. Was it Tony Kern, our Human Resources Director? Tony, you do not possess either the authority, nor does the county administrator, nor actually the commissioners do not possess the authority to pull those pieces of information from the personnel action request form. They must be on there. As I stated, it's an official document. And actually, Tony, if I could recommend, you might need to be concentrating more on the consent decree and your appointment as an EEOC representative. Because we are hearing through the grapevine that your handling of employee issues such as employment discrimination, harassment, intimidation, and retaliation have been lax, dismissive, and underwhelming at best. And one question I have, is McNeese Wallace still, are we still retaining them to investigate employee complaints? Do we know? Are they still on the county's payroll to do that?
I'm not sure about that. I don't know if they're still was.
Okay,
Yeah, they, Boots are still was. She still was.
She's she was part of the EEOC
Okay.
consent decree, we were given a list of people that would be acceptable to the EEOC, to the DOJ, and she was chosen. And now, if I'm wrong, Tony, help me out here. The only time she gets involved is if there's a certain types of Shelby, help me out.
Yeah, we have,
Not every complaint gets investigated by Denise Wallace.
correct, and we have new policies that will be coming into place for the DOJ, which will follow a chain of command of how that works.
okay, so is there a referral process in place so that if employee
Yes.
doesn't feel comfortable with the treatment that they've received from the EEOC representatives for the county, that they could be asked to be referred to McNeese
Yes, ma'am,
Wallace?
and we have, policies that are still in the works on being changed, so yes.
Right now they can.
Yes,
There's gonna be more specific policies, with the DOJ once we get our new policies and procedures back from Townsend that specifically address all these issues that needed to be taken care of per the consent decree.
Okay, but somebody could
They
still,
could still,
Sure.
yes.
okay,
yes.
okay, I just wanted to make sure on
Yes.
that. Okay, thanks Shelby, thank you.
Can I have a motion to approve the salary board meeting minutes of July 10th? So moved. Second. On the question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess, and Second Deputy Controller Copeland.
Can I have a motion to approve the salary board work session, minutes for July 17th?
So moved. Second.
The question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess, and Second Deputy Controller Copeland.
Okay, human resources, personnel actions.
Yes, Commissioners, in the Sheriff's Office, set salary for Barbara Siglak, Security Guard 2, the rate is $18 an hour, effective 7/29/24, that is all.
Can I have a motion to set the salary for the sheriff's office?
So moved. Second.
The question?
Commissioner Fedora,
Yes.
Commissioner Heatherington,
Yes.
Commissioner Hess,
Yes.
Second Deputy Controller Copeland, and Sheriff Rudy.
Any new business for salary board?
Just a comment that glad to see Barbara take a great service in the county for many years, working in the sheriff's office. Glad to see you staying on as a security guard. Motion to adjourn.